and welcome to Fox Sports Lab NRL. I'm Eloise Sohier, and with me are NRL greats Josh Morris, Chris Lawrence, and alongside us is stats guru Tim Williams. While the Titans are still wondering how they let a 26-point lead slip against the Dolphins, and the rest of us are wondering how far Wayne Bennett's men can go this season. Gents, great to be alongside you once again. What an incredible comeback. I think there's only one other side that's done it before, and that's North Queensland Cowboys. Josh, could you believe what you were seeing?
Oh, it was an unbelievable game of football. I think that try before half-time really helped the Dolphins going into half-time, and you do wonder what Wayne Bennett said to them because they look like a completely different side. The Titans, they just went into their shell and stopped playing football, and it could have been more. Jennings bombed a couple of tries, it be said, but you got to wonder what's going on with the Titans after that performance in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. Wayne Bennett was tight-lipped about what he said at halftime. In fact, he said, I actually can't remember, but have you ever seen a side come from that sort of behind? What do you think Wayne Bennett could have said to his men to stick in there, have some confidence, or what would have been the message? Or would have been not much at all?
I think it would have been a lot around confidence, just getting the fundamentals right. I don't think he probably would have expected them to come back so quickly. As Josh said, they could have made it a lot. A few more tries, and they really ran down that lead with plenty of time. So I think he would have said, if you come out and do the fundamentals right in the first 5 or 10 minutes, you're going to give yourself an opportunity. But he's a master, Wayne Bennett, in doing that. And yeah, it was a very rare occasion to see that run down.
Tim, I will get to you in a moment, but I just want to ask Josh or Chris, have you ever been in a game like that before in your career, in the time where you've come from behind or had a team put points on you like that?
Yes, we nearly got run down. I think it was against Parramatta. I think we were 30-6 up at halftime or thereabouts, and we won, I think, 32-30. So we nearly let that one sleep. So I can feel for the Titans, and when the momentum's against you in rugby league, it doesn't matter who you're playing against, it's very, very hard to stop. And sometimes the harder you try, you're sort of digging yourself a deeper hole.
Do the Dolphins have enough in it? Are we convinced by what we've seen through the first opening 8 rounds, or 8-9 rounds, that they can be in the top 8, Tim?
Look, they certainly can be, Eloise. That they've shown that they can be competitive enough to compete for a top 8 position. I look, without sounding like too much of a cynic, I'm still a little bit sceptical in them going all 8. You know, it's a long, long season ahead.
Why are you sceptical?
I just think with every injury that comes, that the depth in their roster is going to get tested more and more and more. They're already on about their 3rd or 4th string halves combination. Anthony Milford's due back in coming weeks as well, but even so, like, it's a big ask for Isaiah Katoa as an 18-year-old to go through an entire season. So, look, we sort of thought the wheels were falling off on the weekend at halftime. Yeah. You thought, here, it's finally happened, and then once again, they proved us wrong.
And points as well. I mean, they're leaking a lot of points. Coming down to the business end of the season, you only really want to be leaking 2 tries if you're going to be competitive, and at the moment, they're just not doing that.
In saying that, though, the confidence that would give them, knowing they can run a team down, sometimes if you're hanging in a game and you know that you have the ability to come and snatch a win at the death, and if you do it once and twice, it builds that confidence that they may not be playing well or might leak 20 points in the first half, but if they have that ability, they've done that there before, they're going to jag a few more wins like that.
Well, one thing they have done before is beat the Raiders already this season in 2023. They come up against them this weekend in Wagga. Another confidence boost. Can they do it again for the second time?
Yeah, I think they can. I think they've proven that they can beat them already, and it was pretty bad conditions that day. It was quite rainy, but they played their gritty style of football, and that got them the win. So I think they can go down to Wagga very confident. It might be a bit chillier, but I think they can get the job done. Well,
looking at the other team that the Dolphins come up against, of course, was the Titans. They come up against the Seagulls this weekend. What do we think about the Titans in terms of letting those many points, conceding that many points and coming away with a loss after leading so far along at half-time? What can we expect from the Titans this week?
I think it's been a bit of a pattern. They've started really well and either let go of leads or have really allowed teams to blow them off the park in that second half. So I think a big thing for them, and I know they'll probably be working on this week, is starting that second half the manner they start the first half, because they do come out and sometimes blow teams off the park, but against a side like Manly, who are going to go to the death with you, they have to make sure that they really come out at halftime and start well and do the fundamentals right. If they complete well and kick to corners, they don't give themselves an opportunity to leak those early points in that second half.
AJ Brimson was a standout for a losing side, Tim Williams. He had a number of 192 metres and 3 line breaks from fullback. Sorry, I'm taking over your stats here, but what did you like of AJ Brimson's game?
No, please fire away with it. Makes my job very easy. AJ Brimson, I think, is really underrated. We know he's played Origin. He's done a job there, but each and every week for the Titans, he's an absolute star. Now, we look at the Titans and their roster, and over the years, they've always been able to attack, and Brimson is such a big part of that. Defence has been their issue, and I'm keen to get your boys' thoughts on their defence, because I thought this year they recruited in a really clever manner, getting in defensive-oriented guys like Sam Verrills, who's obviously injured now. Aaron Schopp has been dropped. Kieran Foran. They still can't work out their defence. Like, what have they got to do?
I think from AJ Brimson's point of view, or whoever plays fullback, their role is to be the communicator and be the connector. A lot of times when you're leaking points, it's not so much about your middle of the ruck, it's about the connections on the edges, and your fullback is a massive part of it. You see all the good fullbacks in the good defensive teams, it's because of their work rate and then plugging holes and directing people around. That might be something that, again, AJ needed to work on his game, and that might be something that can really improve the Titans' defence.
Well, he will be tested this weekend up against Tom Trbojevic, who has been named for the Seagulls, but we know he is looking a bit ginger at the moment. Well, the Dolphins are already one of the storylines of the season, and we watch with interest to see whether their golden run continues.
You know it's a better betting app when you've got stats and insights for every major game and race. Plus expert opinions from the best minds in the game, all in the palm of your hand. That's better. Chances are you're about to lose.